Good morning. Myself Guruswami K, Head of the Department of Physics, IDSC Government College, Chikmagalur. In this video, I am going to present a third lecture on superconductivity. This is the 23rd session. This belongs to the program 3rd BSc Physics, 6th semester, paper 7. The title of the paper is Solid State Physics and Electronics. In this lecture, I am going to discuss the topics like theory of superconductivity, that is BCS theory, formation of Cooper pairs, and exchange of phonons concept. Lastly, energy gap due to superconductivity. In the previous session, we discussed about the effect of magnetic field on superconductivity, the relation between the critical magnetic field and critical temperature, then classification of superconductors, that is type 1st and type 2nd superconductors, comparison between type 1st and type 2nd superconductors, and few problems solved on critical temperature and isotope effect. Okay. Now we are going to discuss the BCS theory, or it is also called as theory of superconductivity. The modern theory of superconductivity was successfully explained by Bardeen, Cooper and Schaefer in 1957, which is known as BCS theory or theory of superconductivity. It had its major feature the pairing of electrons, starting from first principle and employing a completely quantum mechanical treatment. The BCS theory explains the various observable effects such as zero resistivity, isotopic effect, Meissner effect, and the concept of energy gap due to superconductivity, etc. This theory is based on advanced quantum concepts. Those are electron-electron interaction via lattice deformation and formation of Cooper pairs. This theory is mainly based on advanced quantum concepts like electron-electron interaction via lattice deformation and formation of Cooper pairs. And these advanced concepts can explain as follows. Here, if you observe these two diagrams, okay, by using this, we are going to explain the concept of formation of Cooper pairs in the crystal lattice. For that, let's consider an electron passing through the lattice of positive ions. Let's consider electron 1 here passing through the passage between the positive ions. The electron is attracted by the neighboring positive ions, form a positive ion core as shown in figure 1. This is this one. Because here these positive ions have a net positive charge. No? So this positive charge and negative charge particle electron. Between these unlike charges, a strong Coulomb attractive force will exist. And this electron is not acted upon the force exerted by only one positive ion. Okay. It affected by the force, the Coulomb force exerted by all the positive ions surrounding this electron. This is what we call here the positive ion core. Okay. And this electron is affected by the electrostatic force of attraction exerted by all the positive ions surrounding by this electron. Thereby, the net charge of the negative charge of this electron is get reduced because of this Coulomb interaction between the positive ion core and this electron. Thereby, okay, the screening of this electron can be explained with the first diagram. Okay. Next, the screening greatly reduces the effective charge of this electron. Due to the attraction between the electron and the ion core, the lattice gets deformed on a local scale. Because of this attraction exerted by these positive ions present in the ion core on the electron, the lattice gets deformed. On a local scale means these positive ions are displacing towards the electron. A small displacement can introduce in the surrounding positive ion core. Thereby, okay, the lattice gets deformed on a local scale, nothing but a very small scale. Now, if another electron passes by the side of the assembly of the said electron, assembly means the electron and the surrounding positive ion core. If another electron passes very close to the assembly of the said electron and the ion core, it gets attracted towards the assembly, because here we found that the net positive charge of this ion core is greater as compared to the electron. Electron charge is also reduced because of this screening. So this electron is attracted by this ion core, positive ion core, and it encloses this electron, the assembly of electron and positive ion core. If that is happen, the second electron interacts with the first electron via lattice deformation. The second electron interacts with the first electron via lattice deformation. Again, the lattice gets deformed when the first electron along with its positive ion core assembly interact with the second electron. This interaction is said to be due to the exchange of quantum of energy called phonon between the two electrons. During this interaction between the electrons and the ion core, what happens? Some energy is exchanged between the electron 1 and electron 2. There is exchange of energy and momenta takes place during this interaction. So that quantum of energy exchange between the electrons is called as phonon. The interaction process can be written in terms of the wave vector k as follows. Here, let's consider this is the electron 1, and this is electron 2. Here we found that the initially electron 1 having the wave vector k1 and electron 2 having the wave vector k2. When the interaction takes place, here the first electron, okay, is strongly bound with the assembly of positive ion core, okay, and the second electron interacts with the first electron through lattice deformation. Here, thereby, the second electron, let's assume, import a part of energy to the first electron, or give a part of energy to the first electron. That energy, let it be Q, okay, the phonon. That energy, that quantum of energy is what we call phonon. Okay, then what happens? The total energy of this electron get reduced, thereby K2 minus Q. Wave vector again determines the energy of the electron. So K2 minus Q. Here the first electron, it is absorbed a quantum of energy from the second electron, thereby its wave vector becomes K1 plus Q. It takes energy from the second electron, thereby its energy increases. Thereby electron 1 may have the energy K1 plus Q, and electron 2 have the energy K2 minus Q. So K1 plus Q is equal to K1 dash, and K2 minus Q is equal to K2. If we take like this, okay, this is after interaction, exchange of quantum of energy between the electrons when they pass through the positive ion cores of the lattice. Thereby, okay, by using this, if you simplify and rearranging that one, the wave vectors before interaction and wave vectors after interaction. Okay, from this we may get this K1 plus K2 is equal to K1 dash plus K2 dash. That is, the net wave vector of the pair, this pair of electrons is conserved, and this pair is what we call Cooper pair. Okay, the momentum is transferred between the electrons. These two electrons together form a Cooper pair and is known as Cooper electrons, as shown in figure 2. As shown in figure 2. If we come back this figure, okay, Cooper pair here usually we found that, okay, these electrons having spin in opposite direction, and in addition to that momentum, they are moving in opposite to each other. Okay, nothing but the wave vectors corresponds to these two electrons are opposite directed. Then only the Cooper pair formation, the binding of these Cooper electrons is strong, and this Cooper pair binding is weak if both the electrons having spin in one direction or spinning in same direction, and their wave vectors if they are parallel, okay, and directed in the same direction, okay, then we found that the binding of these Cooper electrons or Cooper pair is weak. The Cooper pair binding is strong only when the wave vectors associated with these two electrons forming Cooper pair should be opposite in direction, or these two electrons are spinning in opposite direction, then only this binding is strongest. Again, here if we observe the atoms in different atomic planes very close to this Cooper pair formation, okay, they are disturbed on a local scale. The lattice deformation disturbance can illustrated with this figure. So like this, the wave vector conservation and momentum conservation can be found in the case of formation of Cooper pairs. The binding is strongest, already explained this point. Once again I am going to brief this one. The binding is strongest when the electrons forming the pair have opposite momenta and opposite spins. That is, K upwards and minus K is downwards, opposite spin. All electron pairs with attraction among them and lying in the neighborhood of Fermi surface form Cooper pairs. All electron pairs with attraction among them and lying in the neighborhood of Fermi phase are favorable to form Cooper pairs. These super electrons responsible for the superconductivity. Once the superelectron formation or Cooper pair formation takes place, then we found that these electrons move with very high kinetic energy in the lattice, thereby the resistance goes on reduced and it gets negligible, okay, thereby the conductor becomes superconductor. In normal metals, the excited states lie just above the Fermi surface. That is discussed in free electron theory of metals. In normal metals, the excited states lie just above the Fermi surface. That concept is familiar with us. To excite an electron from Fermi surface, even a arbitrary small excitation energy is sufficient in the case of normal metals or conductors. But in superconducting material, when a pair of electrons lying just below the Fermi surface is taken just above it, they form a Cooper pair and their total energy is reduced. Okay, this is very important, this point. But in superconducting material, when pair of electrons lying just below the Fermi level or Fermi surface is taken just above it, okay, they form a Cooper pair. Once the Cooper pair formation takes place, the total energy is reduced because the net field or the charge of this Cooper pair get reduced because of the strong screening by the positive ion core. This continues until the system can gain no additional energy by pair formation. This process, formation of Cooper pairs, will continue until the system can gain no additional energy by pair formation. Thus, the total energy of the system is further reduced because of this type of large number of Cooper pair formations can be observed at Fermi level or Fermi surface. Thereby, the total energy of the system is further reduced. If an electric field is established inside the substance, okay, after the formation of Cooper pairs, if an electric field is established or applied inside the substance, the electron gains additional kinetic energy due to the effect of electric field interaction with this Cooper pair and gives rise to a current. But they do not transfer this energy, the energy possessed by the electrons due to the application of electric field. Now, that energy they do not transfer to the lattice, so that they do not slow down these electrons moving with a constant high speed. As a consequence of this, the substance does not possess any electrical resistivity. As a consequence of this, okay, the substance does not possess an electrical resistivity. Like this, BCS theory explains the zero resistivity of the superconductors. In addition to this, the BCS theory successfully explains the relation between the critical temperature and isotopic mass. That is what we call isotopic effect and Meissner effect. Okay, again the Meissner effect is also depends upon this resistivity concept. Okay, thereby all those experimental observations, okay, are successfully explained by this theory, the theory of superconductivity or BCS theory. Next concept we are going to discuss energy gap due to superconductivity. Energy gap due to superconductivity. In the case of normal metals at absolute zero, all the energy states below Fermi level are completely filled and all the energy states above Fermi level are completely empty. This concept is discussed in free electron theory of metals. Okay, this concept is familiar with us, but in superconductors, this is in case of normal metals or conductors, but in superconductors, above critical temperature, super electrons behaves like normal electrons or ordinary electrons and get excited. But below Tc, these electrons are paired. Below critical temperature, these electrons are paired and their total energy is less than 2 EF. I think, but here, okay, we are going to explain this one. Just so few Fermi energy levels just below the Fermi level or Fermi surface, okay, accompanied by some electrons. Due to this excitation of these electrons, few of these electrons get take transition from the energy levels just below the Fermi level to the energy levels just above the Fermi level. Once this shifting takes place or transition takes place, then the formation of the Cooper pairs takes place in the specimen or the lattice. Once the Cooper pair formation is takes place in the specimen or a superconductor, thereby the energy gap is introduced at the Fermi level or Fermi surface. Okay. So below Tc, these electrons are paired and their total energy is less than 2 EF. Hence, an energy gap is created at the Fermi level in the superconducting state. But in insulator, the gap is associated with the lattice, while in superconductors, the gap is associated with superelectrons. The amount of gap introduced at the Fermi surface or Fermi levels, that depends upon the energy associated with the superelectrons. The presence of an energy gap in the energy spectrum of electron is as shown in figure 1. The gap in the distribution of density of energy state can be illustrated in figure 2. Okay, this introduction of energy gap can be shown by two figures. Now we have to see the first one. Okay, this is what the energy gap. This is the normal metal and this is a superconductor. Here we observe that the energy gap in superconductors are attached to the Fermi gas. The energy gap in the superconductors are attached to the Fermi gas means the electron gas. Fermi gas means electron gas. Why it is called as Fermi gas? Electrons are fermions. They obey Fermi-Dirac statistics. Fermions means the spin-off particles. So current flows despite the presence of a gap. Current flows despite the presence of a gap. The energy gap has no effect upon the behavior of the special electrons. Those electrons would be called superelectrons that carry a current in a superconductor. The energy gap has no effect upon the behavior of the superelectrons that carry current in superconductor. There is no effect on the current due to the introduction of energy gap at the Fermi surface or Fermi level. This is the second figure. It shows the energy gap introduced at a Fermi level. Okay, here E minus delta. Delta is some width. Okay, this width is energy width. Okay, just below the Fermi surface, and this is the energy width just above the Fermi surface. So here this width introduced below and above the Fermi surface is equal in magnitude because that depends upon how many of electrons take transition from the energy levels just below the Fermi level to the energy levels just above the Fermi level. Thereby, that decides the energy gap, width of the energy gap introduced at the Fermi surface. Thereby, E minus delta and E plus delta. If we add these two, what we get? EF minus delta plus EF plus delta. The total width. Total width should be is equal to EF minus delta plus EF plus delta. Minus delta plus delta cancel to EF. So that point is covered here. But in superconductors, above Tc, two superelectrons behave like normal electrons and get excited. Below Tc, these electrons are paired and their total energy is less than 2F. Hence, an energy gap is created at the Fermi level in the superconducting state. Like this, we are going to explain why the energy gap is introduced at Fermi level in the superconductors. Lastly, I am going to give the definition of phonons and Cooper pairs. Okay, in the examination, they may ask what are phonons and Cooper pairs. Okay, like that, there will be a 2 marks question will be expected. So, phonons. Phonons are quasi-particles associated with a compressional wave such as sound or a vibration of the crystal lattice. Phonons are quasi-particles associated with a compressional wave such as sound or vibration of a crystal lattice. According to the BCS theory, as one electron passes by positively charged ions in the lattice of the superconductor, the lattice disturbs on local scale. Cooper pairs. A loosely bound pair of electrons with opposite spins. A loosely bound pair of electrons with opposite spins and moving with the same speed in opposite directions, held to be responsible for the phenomenon of superconductivity. Okay, like this, we are defining phonons and Cooper pairs. Okay, with this, I am going to end this session. Thank you one and all.